Hi everyone, it's Stephanie and I'm back with another fiber related video. I'm sorry, I've got two of my dogs at my feet. One of them was just, my puppy was just resting her head on my knees and looking up at me like, please, why aren't you playing with me? Anyway, today we are going to try to get through a video tutorial on how to combine Merino and Angora. There are two things that I'm hoping that you can learn from this video. One is that I think carding is probably the best fiber preparation method for spinning Angora. So remember, when you are combing, doing a combed fiber preparation, all of the individual fibers are like this. They are parallel to each other, okay? When you are carding, the fibers are all jumbled up like this. And so it traps air between those little spaces, in those little spaces between the fiber, and it makes what you're spinning, the yarn that you're creating, even warmer than it would normally be. It also gives it a loftier, lighter feel. And I think those are all qualities that are great with Angora. What I'm going to do is the sandwich method again. I'm going to lay down a layer of Merino first, then the Angora, then cover with Merino again. Because the Angora is a lighter fiber, the Merino helps it stay together. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your Merino in whatever form. I happen to have it in a braid here. Yours does not have to be in a braid, but you're just going to draft out a section, or pull out a section really. And I'm going to pull out a couple here while I'm going. So let me shift the camera so you can see what I've got going on here. And so what I've got is one of my hand cards, got it on my knee, and I'm going to take some of my Merino and I'm going to set it on here. I lightly hold the edge here and just pull, and this is loading the comb. You're going to hold on down here at the end of your section of Merino, because just like in drafting when you're spinning, if I was holding it up here, it wouldn't draft any out. Okay, now here's my first pass, loading it. Not a whole lot of fiber, but that's what I want when I'm combining it with Merino. I could get very precise and measure out, get a scale out and measure, say, or weigh, I should say. If I wanted to do a 50-50 blend, I could weigh 1 ounce of Merino and then 1 ounce of Angora, card those together, and then I would know I had a 50-50 blend. I'm just doing this as I do most things by eye. So I'm not weighing anything, is what I mean to say. Precision is not, if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you'll know precision is not something I strive for. It's just not me. So this is the Angora. I got this from the Fiber Queen. She is in Kentucky and she raises Angora rabbits. So I'm coming back a little bit further on the card, and I'm just doing the same thing I did with the Merino, holding at the ends and then just sort of pulling through, okay? This is what my card looks like right now. You see the Angora is here, and then the Merino is behind it. I'm gonna add a little bit more Angora, just a pinch really. Go through like this. Well, right now what I'm doing is just putting a layer of Merino on top of the Angora so that it holds sort of like a sandwich. The Merino is the bread, the Angora is the fillings, okay? So, but anyway, it's snowing a lot out here today, so it's very cold. So here's my comb now. It's loaded with Merino and Angora. So as you can see, my combs, you can either get combs with a straight back or a curved back. I like this curve because it fits right on my knee and it's very comfortable. Now I'm going to take my second card, and I'm just lightly, I'm not pressing it down and raking it across the teeth. In fact, right now I'm just going to catch, see the cards aren't even touching there? I'm just going to catch the bare wisps of fiber here on the end. And I'm just going to pull back and flick up with this fiber. Pull back like this, and then when I pull it up, I flick it so that the fiber kind of goes back here. If I don't do that flick motion, the fiber will curl under like this, and when I put it down, then I have it all jumbled. So that's why I do this kind of flicking motion with the cards. So I'm just going to basically keep doing this until all of the fiber is transferred from the first comb to the second comb. And another good thing that carding does, in addition to combining your fibers and changing the color a little bit, is you'll find pieces like this. I'm not sure if you can see it too well, but it's a little neps. It's where the fiber has kind of balled up together. You might be able to see a little bit more here. And you're getting those out of your, what we're going to be making in the end are rolags. You're getting rid of that so that your yarn end result is smoother. Now, I have left those in before, and it's okay. It just becomes a design element in your yarn. Really, it's all about just understanding the end product that you want and working to produce that. So right here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but right here, there are a few neps in there. We're gonna get those in the next pass, because now we've transferred all of the fiber from this now empty card to this full one, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to card and flick. Have the dogs separated, should be a little bit quieter now. So this will be my last pass, transferring the Merino and Angora from this card to this one. And I would have been fine ending with that last pass, but I just wanted it a little bit more blended, having the Angora a little bit more interspersed with the Merino. And I think I'm going to leave it at this. It's a nice, I think it's nicely combined. And I want to show you what I am leaving on this card for right now. Now, I could take this leftover fiber off of this card, and a lot of times I would, because it has a lot of neps and everything in it. You can see especially, this is a really concentrated spot. Okay, here's another one that's really concentrated. Here's another one, and I don't really want that in my yarn. So if I was spinning a yarn that I didn't mind a lot of texture in, then I would leave all of this in. I would combine it with what's on this card. But because I do not want a lot of texture in this particular yarn, then I'm going to leave those neps and the pieces that have them on this card. So I'm not going to worry about this fiber right now. I won't toss it out. I'll put it in a little jar that I keep fiber bits, odds and pieces, for when I do want to spin a textured yarn. So now we have everything combined. It's on the card, and all you're going to do to take this off, it's really simple. I'm going to try and make this so that you can see it a little bit better. Let me back this up just a bit. There we go. So I have this on my knees. I'll put it this way so you all can see it. And what I'm going to do is take my hands underneath here. Now you could use wooden dowels, you could use chopsticks, or you can just use your hands like I'm going to do. I'm coming from the edges, and I'm going to kind of angle the fibers here in a little bit, fibers on the outside in a little bit. And I'm going to gather them and fold it back on itself, and then just start rolling. And when I get to the cloth on the card, I'm just going to completely roll it off. And I have a nice little rolag. And I don't know if it's showing up well on camera or not, but this is kind of a really nice seafoam greenish color. What I could do, the backs of these curved paddles, you can roll it a little bit if you want to compress some of that air out of there. I don't want to do that right now. So I can take this rolag straight over to my wheel.